Hi everyone, this is the 10th video of the ACT Math Practice Problem series, and here we have another little problem from the concept of laws of exponent. And as I always recommend, pause the video, try to solve it by yourself, and then of course you can see the solution, right? Alright, let's get started. So here we have 3 times a to the power negative 2/3 is equal to 1, and then from here we have to find the value of a. So let's assume a is the variable and we have to solve for the value of a, right? So from here what can we say? Well, let's first try to isolate a from all other numeric coefficients, right? So I'm going to now try to isolate a. So from here we can say, okay, then a must be, if we divide both sides by 3, then we can have a to the power negative 2/3 is equal to 1 over 3. And what is 1 over 3? Well, 1 over 3 is actually 3 to the power negative 1. And then somehow I want to make the exponent of a as 1. I want to convert the left hand side into a to the power 1, because that is the value we have to find, right? We have to find the value of a. That means we have to find the value of a to the power 1. Now right now we have an exponent negative 2/3. So what do we need to multiply with negative 2/3 so that it becomes 1? Well, negative 2/3, if you think about it, if we multiply that with another negative 3/2, then this will give us positive 1. Think about it, because this 3 and this 3 will cancel each other, then this 2 and this 2, they will also cancel each other, and then negative 1 times negative 1, that will give us positive 1. So if we do it that way, then what are we going to get? Well, from here we are going to get a to the power negative 2/3 whole to the power. So now I'm raising both sides to a certain power, and the power is actually negative 3/2. And similarly on the right hand side also I want to do the same thing. So I want to say, okay, 3 to the power negative 1 whole to the power negative 3/2. So what I have done, I have raised both the left hand side and the right hand side to the same power, which is negative 3/2, right? And now from here let's try to simplify. So on the left hand side what are you going to get? Well, we are going to have a to the power negative 2/3 times negative 3/2, and on the right hand side we are going to have 3 to the power negative 1 times negative 3/2. So on the left hand side what are we going to get? Well, we are going to get a to the power 1, because you see this 3 and this 3, they will cancel each other, and then this 2, they will also cancel each other. We are going to be left with negative 1 times negative 1 in the exponent, so that will be positive 1. So this is an exponent of positive 1, so it is a to the power 1, and we can simply write it as a, because when the exponent is 1, we really don't explicitly write the exponent, right? So no exponent means it's a to the power 1. So a to the power 1 is actually a. So on the right hand side what we are going to get? We are going to get 3 to the power. You see we have a negative 1, and there is another negative 1 inside also, inside the other exponent, so they both will give us positive 1, so it will be positive 3/2. So we can write it like that. So can we write it like this? We can say, okay, this must be 3 cubed whole to the power half, and from here can we say, okay, this must be square root of 3 cubed, and then from there we can say, okay, then that must be square root of 3 squared times 3, that's 3 cubed, right? And then now I'm going to bring out the 3 squared. So if the 3 squared comes out of the radical, it will become 3, and then inside the radical we are going to be left with just one of the 3's there. So the 3 squared came out as 3, and we are left with the 3 inside the radical. So our value of a is actually 3 times square root of 3. And now let's look at our answer options, where we have 3 times square root of 3. Well, it's actually option G right here. I'm putting a double tick mark, and that is our correct answer. I hope everything made sense. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.